Well, hello guys and gals, and welcome back to another edition of DTG Fishing with me, your old buddy Mr. Moose. And today we're taking a look at Phase 5 of the advanced or early release of this game. It's early access. They just changed over to Phase 5, and the game has a complete new look to it. As you can see, now I have a player profile. I have an XP bar. It tells me what level I am. Eventually, yes, they're going to give you the ability to come in and customize your profile. But again, everything is under development. They changed over the game modes a little bit. You've got the Academy, single player, multiplayer. It has a different look and feel to it now. The community button still doesn't work. It's there, but nothing works on any of that stuff. But we can go into single player mode, and then it gives us the casting challenges, freedom fishing, and then you can get into tournaments locked right now. But we're going to go ahead and do some freedom fishing and let you guys see some of the new features that are in here. They've added quite a bit, and the game actually plays completely different now than it did when I originally got the game. So it's taken a little getting used to. So we'll let it load in here real quick, and I'll show you guys what has changed. Alright, so we're back on our same old training lake. We haven't gotten anything new yet. I think we'll just come here and fish where we did before, and that way I can show you some of the basics. So as we start out now, you'll notice that Bubba the Fisherman in his still Space Invaders shirt or whatever, now he has a pole as soon as you come into the game. One thing that they've added is the ability to fish anywhere on the map. You can do what basically people would call stock fishing. So that means I could just walk right over here. And if I'm got a clean line of sight, I can go ahead and cast away right here and fish from anywhere on the map where I want. And of course I'm no better at throwing than I was before. So let's try that again. There we go. And I threw it all the way over. So, bingo. Let's see if I lose my line by reeling all the way in. Still not realistic in that aspect. That's about the only time you're going to see me do a 50-yard cast, is when I'm throwing and I can just throw onto another bank. But anyway, so now you have the ability to go fish wherever you want to fish, which is kind of nice. And then I'm just reeling this in as fast as I possibly can. But we can leave it right here, see if we can catch something. As I stated before, I sort of learned that I was fishing this game completely wrong. Again, I'm used to jig fishing. I'm not a sit and wait for a bobber to pop kind of guy. So this sort of throwing a line out and letting it sit is really annoying to me. But yeah, so I'm gonna kind of reel it in and work your lure and all that kind of guy. So carp fishing really isn't my thing, but so it does give you the ability now to stock fish if you want, and go around and change up wherever you want to fish. Or you can fish from what they call the pegs here. And so we're going to come here. And as you see, there's a lot of new little flashy screens that pop up. This one tells us about fishing pegs. A peg is basically a place where you can set your tackle up and put your rods and reels. And so when you claim the area, now you can fish with 3 poles. So we're going to hit F to claim our peg. And as you see, now I'm standing right in the middle of my rods. But yeah, now you have a place where you can have 3 rods to fish with. And so we can take our dude here, and we can pick whichever rod we want to play with. And we can go ahead and cast out here and set a line. So I'm gonna just kind of set up, and we'll cast out. And we did an absolutely joke of a cast. I can only, like I said, I can only cast good when it's going to be a mistake. Yeah, I'm not having too good of luck with this. Alright, so we'll set this over here. And we'll reel that in just a little bit. And then we can set this reel down. And put it on the peg. And then I can pick up a different rod. So now I'm on rod 2. And I'm just going to take this and sling it out there wherever it lands. Put it down. And then I can select rod 3. And I can sling it out there as far as I want to get it. Oh, look at there. Oh, that's a moonraker. Yeah, they're all out there just about 19 feet, 20 feet. So now I got 3 rods out there, and they're all fishing and doing their thing. Now, they've also added the ability in to use a little bait plug thing that you can use. They call it a spod rod. And basically, this is just a bait plug. You throw it out here, and it will lure nearby fish to your rod. So I can throw that dude out there and leave that out there as well. So now I got bait out there, I got my hooks and lines out, and now all I do is kick back and drink a beer and wait for a fish to get on, and a little alarm to sound and tell me I got a fish going. So this seems really boring to me. This is fishing in Europe. Yeah, give me a depth finder and a jig. And I'll be a happy camper. Ooh, I got a fish on. Looks like it's on the second pole. I pick it up. Set my little thing. There we go. Increase our drag. And ooh, fish on. Alright, so now we're fishing again. And it's that same old sawmill. Now they've redone the engine a little bit from what I read to make the fish fight a bit more and to make it a bit more complicated. And the little bit I have fished with Phase 5, I did notice that the fish definitely work a bit harder on you. Hey, I do like the fact that again, they've gone in and tweaked this to where you just can't reel the fish in. They got to actually be, you got to be muscling them in and making yourself a little slack line. So again, you've got to kind of pull back a little bit and then reel on the downstroke. Pull back a little bit, reel down on the downstroke. Unless the fish is coming at you and you've got slack line, you're not going to be able to reel this fish in. So you really have to, you know, work your fish. So you got to watch your line tension, and you've got to control your fish a little bit. If it starts to run to the weeds, you've got to pull the, you know, try to pull it and manhandle it out of there a little bit. And again, manage your drag. So this guy's wanting to go over there and get in the weeds. I gotta work him in. Now today I'm playing with the gamepad today, which is a little awkward, but it works. I actually find playing with the mouse is a bit easier. But I wanted to try the gameplay with the gamepad, just to see if I could get the motions down and get used to it. Doesn't seem like we're making very much headway with this guy. And that's, again, they've tweaked the engine on this. And it seems like, in the few fights that I've had, fish-wise, it just seems like the fights are a little bit unrealistically long now. I guess they're making it try to be where it's not as easy to land a fish, but it does get a little... They seem to be a little bit long on the fight. And there, I snapped the line that time. Because you tend to get impatient. Because they do make this just a little bit too lengthy of a fight on a fish. I've caught all kinds of fish in my life. And unless you're on a mondo, big, huge fish, fights don't last forever. Fish tire out pretty quick. So it just seems like, in the interest of making it a challenge, they made it too long. And like I said, I watched the video where they talked about they went in and tweaked everything in the game. And I do think they might have tweaked it a little too much. So we'll throw this guy back out there. There we go. A little bit better of a cast. We got our drag set to where I like it. So we'll go ahead and peg that one. We'll check rod number 3 here. Go ahead and set our drag a little bit tighter on it so our initial run isn't so long. Alright, so we'll just leave those. And we'll crack open another beer. And we'll sit and wait until the fish alarm goes off. You might as well put a cane pole in this game if this is the way you're going to fish. Yeah, again, I see the potential in this game, but I'm not a carp fisherman. And until they take this a step further to give me a more ability to do some other fishing with artificial lures, to be able to cast, I just don't like to play a game and sit here and twiddle my thumbs. I guess this is supposed to be real, but this is not what I buy a video game for. I buy it for some action and some gameplay, not to sit and listen to an airplane fly overhead. So that's where, I don't know, maybe it's too realistic in the eyes of the Brits, but yeah, I like to have me a plastic worm right now, and be fishing with a plastic worm. And you know, I know they added in the stock part of this game to where I can do some stock fishing, but again, stock fishing is one of those things where I stock fish with artificial lures, not with a stopper and a... So I think 48 is a little too much drag according to the little meter. Come on, fishy fishy. I almost find the best way to do this is just hold your mouse button down the whole time. Find the drag that you like, hold the mouse button down the whole time, and then just pull up and then move forward. Pull up and go forward, and that way you reel on the downstroke. And you just watch where your drag is. You don't want to get it too high up on there to where you run the risk of snapping the line. Because obviously holding the mouse button down increases the tension on the line. But I've pretty much found that's the easiest way to do this. So supposedly now I have another fish on. So now the challenge is to get the one landed and get it in before the other one gets away. But again, the fight on this is so ridiculous now that it just seems like they've made it where the fish can fight infinitely long, and you can't make the progress on them to reel them in. I mean, this is just silly right here. Fish don't really swim like this either. Fish, they tend to run for a bit and then try to stop. Fish don't run inevitably all across the water the entire time. They tire pretty quick. They'll run and try to get to cover and try to tangle you, but they don't just seem to like stand in the middle of the thing and land. So there's a 20-pound mirror carp. Now the one thing I will say is in the adjustments they made the fish look a lot better. They've added in this nice little screen here that shows my XP and everything, and so they really haven't done a lot of improvements on the game. So let's see if we can grab this one, and of course right as we grab it the fish is gone. Maybe it's not. Still there. So we'll reel this one in, see what we get on it. Continue to reel this in. Maybe it tired itself out while it was on the line. It's a guppy. So there we go, another mirror carp. This one's 15 pounds. Looks completely different than the other one though, doesn't it? Well, now this one says, oh, I guess the other one was 15, this one's 8. It's a guppy, common carp. So there we are. That's our second fish landed so far. And we'll toss that little boy back into the water. And we'll recast our line out. Not effectively, we didn't. Like I said, I'm still working on getting the whole mechanics of this down. Yeah, that's over on the bank. And again, the unrealisticness of this is I can just reel this on in. So line 2 is beeping at me, but I didn't think line 2 was even in the water. Guess that's an alert to tell me I need to put my bait in the water. Bait in the pond. Alright, so that should give us 3 lines in the water. And we'll sit and have another beer. It's one thing, you better bring a big cooler full of beer because you're going to be sitting for a while. I can see those alarms getting annoying after a bit. Plus, again, if you had 3 lines out, you'd probably be tangled up in all 3 of them. If you really, I mean, I wouldn't fish with 3 rods this close together if I was really fishing in real life. I'd maybe have one, you know, over this way a bit. You know, over here. One over here a bit. You know, or I might have one fishing out in that area of the water. Ooh, there must be fish heads in that thing. Yeah, one fishing over in this area, one fishing over in this area, and then one fishing way out there. Because if you did really throw out your lines like this, as soon as you got a fish on, they'd all get tangled up. It'd be a big, nasty mess. You'd have a lot of line chafe, and yeah, you'd have a lot of fish lost. So, you know, it's a video game though. Okay, well, if I gotta sit here and wait on all this, I need a chair. Where's my little pop-out chair to sit down on? I got no S to sit button. I gotta stand the whole time? Somebody needs to rethink that. Bubba's feet will get tired after a while. He's already sweating up a storm. I mean, look at him. This dude is the most out of shape redneck I've ever met. He's already got pit fatigue. See, his shirt's already got sweat stains around the collar, sweat stains around the shoulders. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow, never shaves. I mean, he just looks absolutely uncomfortable. He's not wearing like a Columbia fishing shirt with proper ventilation. He looks like maybe Bubba worked at the sawmill all day long and got off of work and grabbed a case of PBR and came out here to not go home to the trailer and have to yell at his wife. That's what he really looks like. He really looks like a miserable, unhappy person. Does anything about this guy look like he's happy? No. He could use a shower and a shave, probably some deodorant. Clothes probably could be washed. He's that guy whose wife is at the laundromat. He's got 3 of the dirtiest kids you've ever seen running around. All of their laundry is in there washing. Yeah. That's who this guy is. His wife's in those pink hot pants that are 3 sizes too small. That he finds absolutely attractive and everybody else finds disgusting. That's this guy. I still haven't figured out this Space Invaders shirt. Or is that Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Or what is this shirt and what relevance does it have to the game? I don't get. Dude should be like in some, like I said, Cabela's gear. Oh, never mind, that's another fishing game. Shouldn't be talking about the competition. Anyways, dude got a beer gut. I mean, that cooler there, is that a tackle box or a cooler full of PBR? I can't figure it out. Alright, I've spent entirely too much time mocking Bubba here and not fishing. This is the problem with this game. If this is the way this game is meant to be played, it's going to get awfully boring. Come on, artificial lures. Anyways, let's reposition a line or something, because I am bored to tears right this minute. Again, I'm playing the game now how the developer described to play the game, because I was blown away when I watched their conference call on Twitch and learned that, well, I knew absolutely nothing about fishing for carp. What's the guy again say? There's no reason to catch a carp other than to catch a carp. I mean, have you ever seen a carp? It's all bone. There's no meat. Yeah, sorry, that's not why I fish. I fish for fish, for substance, for food. I mean, I like the sport in it, but I grew up in a family that we go out and catch a bunch of brim or a bunch of crappie, freeze them, so you'd have them all the time. You catch a bunch of bass, flour them, pan fry them. Oh yeah, good stuff. Is that to say I don't sport fish? I do sport fish. On occasion. But if I got a chance to go red snapper fishing or sport fishing, I'm going red snapper fishing. I'm gonna get me a big red snapper and slice it up, put it in the freezer. I'm gonna get me a big old tuna and can it and do whatever else I can do with it. Man, you want to talk about tuna fish salad? Go catch a big tuna, bring it home, and make fresh tuna fish salad. Ooh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. I don't know, I'm talking saltwater fishing versus pond fishing, but you know, is what it is. I live at the beach right now. Hadn't done too much freshwater fishing in a while. Mostly saltwater or brackish fishing. There's a miserable throw. I don't know how I got them two long throws back to back. Alright, we'll let this sit for just a little bit longer. And I'll try and think of some other ways to degrade Bubba here. And, are those Velcro shoes he's wearing? No, they look like waders. Seriously. Please let me customize my character so he doesn't look so miserable. Because this guy is just a slob. I mean, he's pudgy around the belly. He's got man boobs. He just looks disgusting. I mean, I wouldn't want to fish next to him. He gives people who fish a bad name. I take that back. This dude doesn't have a wife. I don't think anyone would date him. He's forever just going to be a lonely guy that comes and fishes and drinks and has alcohol, becomes an alcoholic from waiting all day. I mean, he's going to have to drink so much beer waiting to catch a fish that he becomes an alcoholic. By the time he reaches 35, his liver's going to have cirrhosis and be on a waiting list for a new one. All right. Oh. Okay, so this is boring. Yeah. Again, this is the way the developers say you're supposed to play the game. Throw out your line and wait for the alarm. And in my book, that's pretty darn boring. Here, let's reel in our... Oh, our bait stick isn't out in the water anymore. Well, I could have a problem with it. I never reeled it in. Holy cow, that's 60 yards. How did I accomplish that? I think that's about where our other reel is right now. So we'll just leave that right there. Dobby dobby do. Okay. I mean, seriously, come on. I did better fishing my way of just jigging a lure before. Alright, we'll give this a couple of more minutes, and then impatient me is going to pick up a line and reel it in, and we'll do something else, because this is pretty boring. I sure am glad that the scenery's good and the sound effects are great, because otherwise this would be boring. Alright, picking up line 3 and reeling it in. And we'll just kind of work it in, see if we can catch a fish by reeling it in slowly. Ooh, fish on 2. Fish on 2. We finally got something, kids. Oh, gotta crank our drag way up, because somehow it got way down. Can't be much on here because it's just coming on in. Now they did say they were adding an invasive species in, or excuse me, a nuisance species in, called bream. According to them, this was the way the British dudes announced it. Bream. Which I'm wondering if he's saying brim. Which I like brim. And that would be a bream. So that's, I don't know. It sort of looks like a brim. So anyways, this is what they call a nuisance fish. It's called a bream. And it's 3 pounds. And we caught one. And I guess they said at a, like, every out of 10 casts, you probably catch 3 of these. So it's sort of like a, I don't know, 3 in 10 chance of catching one of these. But, yeah. Okay. So that's the bream. And we've caught one. And that was sort of uneventful, because you just kind of reeled it straight in. No fight to it. Alright, so reel this in just a little piece. We'll peg it. And we'll go back to reel 3 that we were reeling in. And we'll reel it in. Just kind of pop it every once in a while. Something just whistled. Whistle. Ooh, a skipper. Alright, that's gravel right there. We'll let that one set. And we'll fish with rod number 1 now. Let's reel it back in. Since it's done no good either. Alright, so we'll set our drag. And we'll reel this in just a little bit. Alright, so they should give us a long, a medium, and a short. So we'll see how this goes. As the airplane goes overhead again. The plane! The plane! Oh. Oh, we got a fish on. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna throw this one in. Work this guy in. See if we can get him landed pretty quick. He seems to come on in pretty much. So I'm guessing this might be one of those bream fish again, because it's coming in way too easily. So, alright, so let's get him on up here. There we go. Actually, it's a carp, little 8-pounder. So yeah, so what I was going to say earlier is they've done a really good job. They said they went back and adjusted the fish to make them look more realistic, and I think they've done a really good job with it. I think they look good. The fishing action's a little bit slower than I would like it to be, but we're moving along, and we're catching fish a little bit at a time. We're getting a little long in the video, so I am going to wrap up this video, but just want to give you guys a look at Phase 5 so you can see the difference in it, where it's headed. Definitely they've made some improvements to the game. Again, I like the game and I like where it's headed. I'm not a big fan of the fishing style for carp, and I know I can go around and I can cast here and I can cast there and I can fish, but I'm not really a big fan on the carp aspect of it. I'm really looking forward to them putting some other species of fish in, giving some different scenarios where you can, you know, get in a boat and go fish, or you can fish for different kinds of fish, do some artificial lures, things of that nature. Really looking forward to that aspect of the game. I hope to see that come along pretty soon. So that'll do it for today's edition. Hope you guys have enjoyed this look at Phase 5, and I'll do some more videos as I get a little bit more comfortable with it and learn a little bit more about the game. I'll continue to put some videos up for you guys to see. But if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more videos. I do a new video every single day. So thanks again for watching. It's DTG Fishing. It is early access. It is a game under development. You can check it out now if you'd like to. There's a link to it in the show notes. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Mr. Moose. Stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.